Hello and welcome to my 1 year partial dreadlock update. It's been a fun, interesting year. I was going to do something special for this video, but I'm too lazy, so I'm just going to do kind of a straightforward. I'll cover a few things, but so let's see. I started with twist and rip and back comb. What I did was I started washing my hair with like residue-free shampoos and baking soda before I even got dreaded, and I let my hair start to section on its own. So instead of doing just inch by inch squares or whatever, I let the hair naturally section to the best that I could, and then I had the person take those sections. So the sections are all different sizes. Some are really small, some are big. And I just figured that would, the hair would kind of already determine where it kind of wants to be, and it might prevent some problems down the road. I don't know if it did or not. There has been some congoing, and there's been some reverse congoing. I've had, if you watch my other videos, I've had dreads that have kind of go together, and in that same dread there's one that's trying to get away, so at the root it's already separated, where it was originally connected, if that makes sense. So I really have done no maintenance, no crocheting or no wax, no palm rolling even. I just wash it and make sure it dries, and that's really all I do. And I have a lot of loose hair, especially on this side. I tend to sleep on this side of my head. I don't know if that's why. But this side is significantly messier, and I feel like I need to do something with that, but I don't know. I may just kind of try to roll it up and stick it in one of the dreads. But let's see. My washing routine has changed through the year, kind of. I started with Dreadhead HQ, and I didn't really have any problems with it. I read mixed reviews online, and you never know with that stuff. So, so I figured I'd try something different. I heard a lot about Dr. Bronner's, so I switched to that. And where I am in New York, we have very hard water, so it was not washing out. It was making it was really bad. I could tell that it was not coming out. My hair was just gunky and sticky and smelled great, but it just doesn't work with our water, so I unfortunately had to stop using that. And at that point I switched over to baking soda and apple cider vinegar, and that's really what I've been using ever since. And I don't have too many complaints about it. I feel that it does dry my hair out a bit and my scalp out a bit. I don't have dandruff. I had it, I did go through a phase of dandruff the first maybe 2 or 3 months. I think after the dreading process. So I think my scalp was just adjusting to that, because it was rough for a little while, and I was like, oh. But it's all gone. It does go away, so just hang in there. But yeah, the baking soda, I feel, even with apple cider vinegar, it tends to dry out my scalp a little bit. So I'm kind of looking. I have a couple people around here that have dreadlocks that have had them way longer than me, and they use some sort of special shampoo, and I have to figure out what that is, and I will figure it out. When I do, I'll make a video and make sure I let people know. Let's see, issues through the year. I've had some pinching where I guess I wasn't keeping them separated enough in between washes and stuff, and some webbing started to happen. Stuff was getting pulled from places it wasn't happy to be pulled from. So there was one time I did have to snip a couple little web hairs because it was painful. If I moved my head in any way, it would pinch, and it was really annoying. So to do that, I just searched around, and I found the really tight hair if I moved a certain way, and I just clipped it. It was only a couple. I don't think it had any major effect on anything other than relieving the pinching pain. I still have a little bit, when they're wet, there's still a little bit of stress in a few spots, and I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully It doesn't mean that the root hair coming in is too thin to hold the dreads that are already established there, which I think is probably the case. But we'll see. It could be that they're just pulling from a place that I haven't been able to locate yet too, because it feels very similar. And it's only when it's wet. When it's dry, everything is fine. I don't feel it, so. Comments and stuff I've had, or interactions, have been positive or non-existent for the most part. Not really many people have said anything. People are just now really starting to comment on my hair, like strangers. Like yesterday at work, this guy told me I have to wear a hairnet, and I don't work in food, but I was in a place where they work with food, and I just grabbed a cup, and I wasn't in the kitchen or anything, I was just on the outside, and he said I have to wear a hairnet, and he called me a dirty hippie, and I was like, okay. So that was my first real negative comment. Even I didn't even take it as a negative comment. I actually found the whole thing amusing. And I don't take being called a hippie as an insult by any means, because I'd rather be a hippie than a lot of other things in the world. But yeah, people are going to judge, and that's cool, that's fine. It comes with the territory, you know. But for the most part, people just ask questions, and the only people that have said anything negative are like balding old guys, really. So maybe it's just envy or something, but it doesn't bother me. So yeah, I haven't really had any comments other than very recently, but most people are nice, I guess. Drying my hair, at first I was letting it air dry, and then when they started to get a little more mature, I would smell like the apple cider vinegar in the bigger ones. And so I was like, okay, I should probably start drying with a dryer, and I did, and I have been. But I do feel that adds to the drying out of the scalp, so I'm trying to not use a dryer anymore. And I haven't had any problems. I've been not drying for the past 2 washings. I just take extra care with towels. I shake my head, squeeze it, shake my head, squeeze it, then I'll wait a few minutes and do it again, and so far that's working okay. I do deep cleans every like couple months, and those are amazing. I definitely recommend doing those. I did my first one too early though, and I put way too much apple cider vinegar in, and they came undone quite a bit, and I know that's going to happen, but I think I really overdid it. So I don't know when you should start. I would check LazyDreads for that. He's really good. He's got any info you need, and I'll actually put a post to his page, his Facebook page or YouTube page, in the description thing, because he's like the Yoda of Dreadlocks on YouTube right now. So a point I missed was the issues that come with partial dreadlocks as opposed to the issues that come with full head of dreadlocks, which I've never had the full head of them, but I would assume. So this is a constant battle zone right here. This is where the dreads start and the loose hair starts, and the dreads are constantly pulling in, like every day. Like I could pull some out of the dread right now from the area where I don't want them to be pulled in. The dreads are constantly eating the loose hair, and it is a pain in the butt. Secondly is washing. This hair needs more washing than the dreaded hair, and you know, I don't want my hair to be greasy. I don't want to give it a bad name, so I have to stay on top of that. So the absolute longest I'll go without washing my hair is 4 days, because it starts to show on the loose hair, and which is kind of a pain, because otherwise I'd probably be a little more relaxed with the washing. And I assume as dreads get older and longer, it's going to become more and more of a pain because they're going to take longer and longer to dry. You know, having to wash that often for the loose hair. So I can see how that would be a pain. Yeah. So the future, I plan on just keeping with it. I still love them. I think dreadlocks are the coolest thing on the planet. So as long as my scalp allows there to be hair to be dreaded, then I plan on keeping it there. And like I said, I may do a little, I don't know if I'm going to bother. A lot of these are flat too. Some of them are round, some of them are flat. I don't know if they're going to fill out in time because I've seen some pretty significant changes in some of them where like they started out small and turned out huge and round, and like I would have never guessed that. So I don't know if a lot of that's going to happen. They're all very free-willed and free-spirited, I guess. So they just kind of do what they want. So I don't know what's going to happen with half of these. But there's a little bit of mess over here that I would like to somehow contain if I can. If not, it's okay. But yeah, I've babbled enough. So I will just show them. And that'll be it for this year mark. Sorry for talking so much. As usual, lots and lots of loose hair underneath especially. It's just, but it's all good. Even the loose hairs are starting to turn into dreads under there, which is cool. See, this one I did myself. This is why there's problems over here. It's trying to separate and everything already. It doesn't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. So hopefully nature just takes its course and it all wraps up. I don't know how many I have. Again, I'm too lazy to count. But there's been Congos and stuff, so I've tried to keep them from doing that too much, but at the same time I haven't really done much to stop them, other than just regular separating. But some of them just seem determined to Congo, and I'm like, alright, if that's what you want to do your thing. So, alright, I'll probably be back in a month with another video. I don't know. It took me a while to get to this one. I'm kind of slowing down with them a little. And, but there will be more coming at some point. So, thank you guys who have been following since the start, and I appreciate it. And thanks for the new people checking out. I hope to see you and for you to see me again soon. Bye.